Greetings there, people of the world. IonicGecko here. Today, over a year later, since the last video I posted on my channel, I forget which one it was. I think it was still talking about my new setup. Beginning of 2020, January, before the world ended. Well, no, that's being very hyperbolic, very overdramatic. But still, it's we all know. The whole world knows. That's the one thing. It's funny. It's the one thing all humans can relate to, pretty much, unless you're living in some remote village out in the middle of nowhere, or town, or something that was never affected. But otherwise, but even still, if you have the internet connection, I should say, you know what's happening. Yeah, talking about COVID-19, of course. COVID-19, but yeah, over a year since I did anything. It's affected all of us. It's definitely affected everyone I know, obviously, for obvious reasons. Yeah, I don't know why I'm really making this video. Thought I'd get some thoughts out, potentially, maybe, might help. I've been feeling a little more down recently, as I do every once in a while. Comes and goes my whatever mood. So I'm just gonna call it depression, because I seem to have most of the symptoms described in it. But yeah, I've been feeling very depressed as of late. Motivation to do anything has slowly been dwindling. Today was maybe a little better, because got to talk to one of my bosses at work, very understanding, which I appreciate. He's of a younger generation, so he can relate. He was, in fact, sharing some of his, or like that he has had similar experiences. But tomorrow, hope that wind isn't screwing with the mic. I think it's down here. So if I put my hand like so, maybe won't be so bad. Anyway, tomorrow I will be going to talk to a psychologist. And yes, I mean psychologist, not a psychiatrist. The difference was explained to me by my lovely Marski. She told me, because I never really knew yeah, talking to a psychologist, I'm hoping that'll help, because it's the first time I've ever done anything like it. Never been to therapy, never really opened up and talked about my experiences, what's going on in my head, other than in some vlogs, and sometimes, speaking to my partner, my love. But even so, it's a character flaw of mine, probably my dad and my brother as well. We don't really open up, us Bennett boys. But for me, yeah, definitely, I'd say I'm the worst of the bunch, or I'm the most enclosed when it comes to speaking publicly, or like more openly. Even though I am fairly emotional, I guess. Maybe as a kid I was more so, and then through whatever things happening, I closed myself off more. There's a path over there, so I'm just kind of, I don't need anyone walking up on me while I'm talking to my phone. But in the end, I don't really care. But also don't want to look like a crazy person, even though I suppose to an extent, I am a crazy person. Aren't we all? Hopefully you can hear me. I've been talking a little low, just luckily not that windy. It is March 31st. So, no, 30th. March 30th. Right? No, March 31st. Yeah, it's March 31st today. Tomorrow is the 1st of April. And then Friday's this second. Yeah. I have my birthday in less than a week, next Wednesday. Haven't done a birthday video in a while. I might do one. Maybe this will be it. I don't know. Might upload this then. Might upload this earlier. Let's see if this is all. I guess it's clean. Can't say. Don't know. But yeah, no reason for making this. Thought I'd just kind of check in. Maybe by talking a little bit, I'll have some clearer idea of what I'm going to talk about tomorrow, and maybe I can, help anyone that's feeling the same. So I've been down. No self-destructive thoughts, nothing like that. Never really had those. Worst time was in 2015. If you watch those depression vlogs, it's the only time I've ever even like considered like what would suicide, how would that affect, what would happen if I did that. So, but that's the only time. Nothing like that as of late. It's just hard to explain, but it's motivation goes away. It's just, and when I say motivation, it's like your mental energy is sucked away. Like I have a certain reserve, and then it's like depression is some sort of leak. I'm leaking, and then I'll have enough of that energy to do everything I want to do, everything I like to do in life. Usually the first things to go are like chores. Stop doing those. I've always been bad at those, but I have a blog where I clean my fucking shithole apartment in the States. That's the worst. Luckily, nothing that bad. But the fact that my girlfriend is similar, it doesn't help us because it's pretty messy. It gets messy in our place. But now we've last weekend we both of us chipped in. We cleaned up. It's not bad now. But yeah, first thing to go is chores usually. Then it's like my creative side. Often it's like, or any hobbies or any extra, not extracurricular, but any passion projects, hobbies. Those tend to go next. Like now we're on a freaking roll. We were mostly every 3 days for pretty much a year. Year just came and gone. We made it to about a year. Me and Marski were exercising 3 times a week consistently for like an hour and a half to like 2 hours every other day for like 3 days a week, and that was good. It definitely helped us get through last year, I'd say. But that has waned. We haven't done that in several weeks now, so I'm hoping we can get back to that, especially because look, the day is so nice. Spring is here, definitely here. It's arrived, and I'm hoping we don't get any more cold weather. Hopefully I wasn't covering the mic and you heard me. But yeah, so those go first, and then like work. Usually, I'm always at work. I can always work. I find the energy and motivation to work. But then, when things are at their low, like when I'm at my lowest, even that goes. Like I don't even want to get out of bed. Basically, I'll eat, and I'll just sit around fucking consuming some form of entertainment, escapism, basically. So I reached that point lately, and luckily I have a very understanding boss, and they gave me like 2 weeks of just work at home, and I've been able to basically just slow down my pacing, and so I've been working, but very much less, and so that's helped. It's still like what I need. Even today I was talking to like basically my boss's boss, and he was like, yeah, you need to disconnect, and I know, and hopefully tomorrow I'll have a clearer picture of what I should do. Do I go back to, because the idea was I go back to work next week, like physically to location. Maybe that'll change after tomorrow. Maybe I'll go next week, and then I'll take a week, 2 weeks of just sick leave to just completely disconnect, have my brain not think about work, because in the end I haven't been at a point like this in a while. It usually comes around wintertime is when it gets dark, my mood dips with that, and normally I can power through. I've been dealing with this for like 10 years is when I can recognize, like, yeah, I've had those symptoms, but for all that time I've been able to power through, been able to live with. I've definitely learned to live with it in the past like 4 years living back in Finland, but sometimes even here I've been called in sick, be like, my head hurts, or like my back hurts, or basically making up an excuse to not go, even because it's hard. It's something that it's definitely a very real thing. A lot of people suffer from it. I know that myself, but it comes down to me not being very good at opening up, me wanting to actually prove myself every day, show like, hey, I can work, I'm strong, I'm not a wimp, I can do this, even though that's not healthy, and I know that. But I have this, I want everyone to like me. I want people to see me as a good employee, a good person that actually doesn't slack off, all that. And maybe people understand that, but some people definitely won't. When you say like, oh, I'm depressed, he's just slacking at home, he's just fucking doing nothing. Don't be sad, just be happy. And it's like, anyone that doesn't suffer from things like this, unfortunately, they don't understand. They can try, but unless you experience it, you will not know what it is like mentally. And some people have experienced it, but they don't understand that that's, they actually have some mental illness that needs, treatment. So like, I haven't sought treatment really. I'm just kind of trying to treated myself, kind of seeing what worked, what was best for me. But tomorrow I'm going to talk to like a professional. Last week I already went to like talk to a nurse, who then scheduled this, and then took some blood, made some lab tests. Everything in my blood seems fine, so it doesn't seem like I'm lacking. I am deficient in anything. I have no deficiencies, so that's good at least. But mentally, you gotta think like I'll go on. The issue is, here's the thing, and that there's a part of it. My brain will go fire on a million cylinders at once, and it's hard for me to focus on one thing. I'm sure that's partly like ADHD or ADD, some sort of attention disorder, attention deficit disorder, or attention, I don't know. Oh shit! Almost fell off this rock. What is H in ADHD? Some sort of attention something H disorder. I don't know. I forget. Maybe I'll put it on the screen. But yeah. Brain firing on all the cylinders. Here for an example, is oftentimes, like these days especially, I think about my impact on the planet Earth, because I don't want to be I don't want to be destroying it. I mean, look, even here, even though there's no leaves on the trees, and there's still a bunch of snow, and it's relatively bland, but Finland is beautiful. A lot of places don't look like this because they've been metropolitanized. That's not a word, but I made it a word. Maybe it is a word. It is a word. But yeah, basically we're covering the Earth's natural beauty for us humans. And the worst thing, obviously, climate change. Anyone who doesn't believe, or is like, climate's been changing for, like, those people, there's no point in giving them time, because man-made climate change is a real thing, and anyone that says otherwise is just a dumbass. Just in my eyes, it's like you have not read enough, or you've read the wrong stuff, because you can always find we all have biases. You can always find confirmation bias if you go on the internet, especially because there's a bunch of bullshit everywhere, and unless you know how to critically think, read and understand the information, not just like see that at face value, take things at face value, read the title of an article and be like, oh yeah, I know what they're saying. Like, no, you have to, like, reading sucks. I wish we could just plug something in our brains, download the information. Oh, I know this now. I think it would be so much easier. Maybe in time, Neuralink, Elon get us that stuff. But yeah, my impact on planet Earth, this is what I'm talking about. I can start on one thing, end up somewhere completely different. That's not, people do that obviously, but it's happening in my mind like every second. I think of one thing and then I'm somewhere far else, and it's overwhelming. I think what it is, I don't know, but sometimes I feel like that's what it is then my brain gets overwhelmed. I'm like, and then I just shut down everything, close the valves. This, like, we're information overload, I don't know, or like my neurons are being fried. It's like, oh, we can't, the information being processed is too much to handle. It's like, I don't know what it is, but that's how oftentimes I feel. That's kind of what I've observed, especially over the past few months. It's like, yeah, I got so much fucking shit on my mind, and there's so much I want to do. Like, it's not that I don't want to do anything. I want to do so many things. I have this huge project, that I'm working on constantly, but I haven't progressed as much as I'd like, as much as I could. That's the thing, I could do it. And a lot of times it ends up being not enough time. There's not enough time in a day to do things. Why can't the day be like 36 hours? Give me 4 more hours. And then oftentimes when I'm in like a creative mood, or I'm like, oh, I want to do this, it's like freaking the middle of the night. It starts at like 9 p.m., 10 p.m., and I could keep going, working until like probably like 3 a.m. But, you know, I got to get up for work at fucking 6:30 or 6, just after 6. And you need sleep. Sleep is important. And even lately, I'm beginning, I'd say not quite enough sleep. I try and always aim for at least 7. So between 7 and 8, I'm fine. I can survive on 6. I can even survive on 5. I've done less. But then there's the danger of falling asleep at work, and then all the other bad things that happen with sleep deprivation. And you can't pay sleep debts back. So I've read about that. It's like, yeah, there's no such thing. Or like you can't, like, you can kind of catch up on sleep. You can, like, if your body is tired, if you've been getting a few hours of sleep over the week, and then weekend you sleep a lot, yeah, you can kind of recover, but it's not good for your brain. It's not good for your health. Oh man, look at my hair. Like most, oh shit, my hat, hang on. Most haven't gotten a haircut. It's getting long. It's not that bad yet, but it's at the point where it needs to be trimmed. But I will, actually, you know what, I'll let the sun shine on my face. Get some vitamin D in me. What was I saying? Yeah, my impact on the world. So whatever products I buy, try and think of the origin, how much, because everything humans do, whatever we create, you know, everything we do has a carbon footprint. And so I try and consider that in everything. So the food I eat, that's the easiest thing, because then I can kind of look, oh, I'm trying to buy local, try to buy, you know, Finnish products, other materials, and a lot of things, unfortunately, are out of my control. Like where I buy like electronics or something, most of that shit is made in China. Why? Because companies, you know, find it's cheaper to make that stuff here. And then if you want to buy here, it's still too fucking expensive because most of the stuff is there. What I always hope is people in China, like China industrializes it to a point where the livelihoods, like quality of life in places like China, Russia, and wherever oppression, you know, people have poor quality of life, it gets up to the point where people realize, like, hey, yeah, government, we like our freedom, because humans appreciate freedom. Yeah, humans definitely appreciate freedom. That's why we live in pretty much a free society around the world, Western world anyway. It's because we recognize that we have a high standard of living, and I'm hoping the rest of the world comes to that, and then I don't have to, you know, if there are regimes, authoritarian regimes elsewhere, I'm definitely not supporting. I don't want any of my fucking money going in there. I don't want my money even, you know, going through another company that's dealing with the place. Because, for example, here's the thing I just considered the other day. I work for a supply chain company, and we have customers, and they are sourcing raw materials from a lot of places. China is one of them. You know, what can I do? That's just the thing they do, fine. But then there's like Finnish companies, because I work in Finland, that are making their products in China, and in a poor like in factories with poor quality management, and the people get paid like shit, and like they're potential child labor, all that stuff. I don't want to be a part of that, but in the end, I am. That's just no, I'm not crying. It's just my eyes got shit, or like the oil. God, I haven't taken a shower in like fucking 3 days or something. But yeah, so I'm part of the whole chain there, and so I, even on a minuscule scale, I am contributing to that. I'm perpetuating. So, and I know I can't do anything about that now, because I have a plan. I'm like the Cylons. I have a plan, but it's a long-term plan. It's like I'm paying off my debts from the States, because student loans. God, there's oil. It's stinging my eyeballs, and I don't have any goddamn paper. I gotta wipe it. Hang on. try this. I'm gonna wipe it on my. This. This is beautiful. Look at my eyes. I'm not gonna cut any of this. It's just gonna be raw. What the fuck is this? Look at this. I got a sticker. What the fuck? QC. Get out of here. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, now there's some other thing in my eye. God damn it, this is the worst. I hate things going in my eye. That's like the fucking worst. Don't you just hate it when you got crap going in your eye? It's probably a lash now. And because I don't have a goddamn mirror, this isn't good enough. I can't see the detail. Can you see anything in there? See anything in my eye? Oh, damn it. This is the worst. Yeah. Probably gonna have to call this short because I will not get this out until I get home. Fortunately. But yeah, I thought I'd just share a little bit. It's already 20 minutes long. So yeah, life's hard, but I know we'll make it through. That's why I don't get suicidal. I have not dipped that low, luckily. And I'm sorry to anyone who has, but know that suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem, and one should not take their own life unless it's a medical situation where you're in pain every day and you need to be like euthanized. That's not the word for humans, is it? To euthanize a human? It's I don't know. I forget. But yeah, thank you for joining me and in my ramblings, because that's all this was, just me rambling. But maybe it'll help me. Maybe it'll help you. You're not alone. We'll get through this. It's where honestly the light is at the end of this year. The light is at the end of this year. Just gotta survive. Just gotta survive. Trust the scientists. Come on, people. And I don't know. Here's one thing. I'm just gonna leave you with this. Anyone that comes up and disagrees with a vast majority of people who have studied, spent their lives, years of their lives studying certain aspects of, be that science or engineering, and then you're like, nah, you're wrong, I'm gonna listen to this bogus bullshit information, or the small minority who disagree when there's tons of evidence for things, and you're like, nah, vaccines work, they're not putting fucking microchips in you. Like, please use your brains. Use this. This is an amazing thing we got in our skulls. No other animal on this planet has brains this big compared to their bodies. There's a reason why we're the dominant species on this planet. We've evolved with this. This is our advantage in here. And people who are like, oh, the world's flat. Oh, fucking moon landings were faked. Vaccines cause autism. Climate change isn't real. Like, go fix your brain. That's all I can say. You are sorry, but I see those people as failed human beings. You have failed yourself, and you have failed humanity, human society. And some people can't help it. Some people are dumb and they can't do anything about it. And that's unfortunate. That's why usually, in most cases, I just feel sad. I feel sad for dumbasses and idiots, because oftentimes it's not their fault for being dumb. Oftentimes it's like the education system they grew up in that failed them, didn't get them skills. Their parents, you don't get to choose your parents. You have racist parents, you become a racist. Racism isn't genetic. That's inherited. That's learned. You learn racism, and you learn. You can unlearn or like stop learning things, because you're too lazy, you refuse. It's hard for you. My brother, I know, he definitely had a tough time in school, and it wasn't his fault. But then in the end, he's an adult now, and I hope he's grown enough and learned about life, living for a long time. Life is a good teacher. Learned a lot of life lessons, and I'm in a good place. I'm fortunate, and that's why I'm never gonna go lotto, basically buy lottery tickets, because I already won the fucking lottery. I won the lottery of life, and you know, I have great genes. I'm healthy, lovely girlfriend. I have a house, get food, I got a job. I focus on that. When I feel like shit, focusing on that helps, because then it's like, okay, things could be worse, and this situation will not last forever. This state of mind will not last forever. We will all find our way. We will all be okay, one way or another. Anyway, thanks guys. Looks like the thing in my eye went away, so I could talk about it. But I'm gonna go. I don't want to make this a 30-minute vlog, so appreciate you. Thank you very much. This is IonicGecko. I'm signing off. I'll catch you on the flip side. Maybe I'll make a birthday video this year. It's been like